Welcome back to day 29 of our practice together. It's so nice to be with you. Today's topic is honoring the whole self. What do I mean by that? Well, the last 28 days since we started practicing together, we've been spending time really acknowledging and honoring and tending to all of the different aspects of ourself and our being. So I think of it in these four main categories: our physical self, our mental self, emotional self, and our spiritual or energetic self. We have tended to each of those in different ways, right? We've started to get into our body more, breathing, noticing how our body's feeling, grounding our body. We have discussed our emotional state, honoring what our feelings are, allowing them to flow through the sensations we have and move through us by acknowledging them and getting them out in our journal or speaking them. We have acknowledged our mental body, which are the thoughts we're having, through our discussions together and writing our thoughts down in our journal. And our spiritual or energetic body. All of this breath work and visualization is tapping into that energetic self and also the connection to something bigger than ourselves, our soul self, divine energy, the unseen of the divine world. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use our journals and we're going to write down all of the ways that we intend to keep nurturing and honoring all of these aspects of ourself as we continue through this pandemic together and through this uncertain time. So what I encourage you to do is to kind of divide your page up into 4 quadrants. And on the top of each one, you can put physical self, mental self, emotional self, and then energetic/spiritual self. Okay? So let's breathe first so we can kind of center our energy before we begin writing. Bring our attention to our breath. Just centering, noticing how your body's feeling, noticing how through your breath you can center and focus your attention. Feel this subtle difference. Excellent. So now let's begin to write just a few bullet points under each category of how we're going to tend to ourselves. So in the physical category, go ahead and write some things down. I want to encourage you that none of these should be restrictive in any way or judgmental in any way. So in the physical category, I would refrain from things like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds for the rest of quarantine, right? And I would encourage you to put things more on the affirmative of what it looks like to tend to your physical body. So maybe it's going to be that I'm going to eat nourishing foods, or I'm going to make sure I get some movement in a few days a week, whatever feels good to you. But let's make it more in the affirmative and in the empowering sense rather than in the restrictive sense in any way. And that goes for every category, okay? So go ahead and write a few things down in the physical. So how are you going to tend to and nourish and honor your physical self, your physical body? So I'm writing, I'm going to eat nourishing foods. I'm going to take my herbal supplements. And I'm going to go for walks regularly. That feels good to me. So go ahead and you do yours. Now I'm going to move over into the mental self whenever you are ready to join me. I'm going to write there that I'm going to journal regularly to let my consciousness stream. I am going to do some writing on my book project that I'm working on. That gets my mental self kind of activated and in a positive way and moving and flowing. What else am I going to do to honor my mental self? I'm not going to judge my thoughts. I'm going to allow my thoughts to come, and I'm going to allow them to flow. And then emotional self. I'm of the opinion that one of the most important ways to honor our emotional self is to allow ourselves to have our feelings. So not repressing or denying our feelings. So I am going to put that as my number one, that I'm going to give myself permission to feel all of my feelings as we move through this. I'm going to get support when I need it. And I'm going to be really gentle with myself, kind and gentle. Good. So you do your emotional self as well. And then we have the energetic and spiritual self. I am going to continue to meditate and connect with divine energy, connect with my spiritual guides, my angels, talk to them, pray to them. I'm going to continue to pray for those that are ill and their loved ones and our frontline workers. And I'm going to get in nature as much as I can, because that's when I really feel connected to that part of myself and to divine energy. Great. So I know we're moving through this quickly. I want to encourage you to take your time with it and expand in each category. I would really write down as many things that come to you naturally and allow yourself to leave this in a place where you'll see it regularly, so that you can remind yourself on those days where it gets rough, where you feel unsettled or ungrounded, that you have all of these tools in your toolbox come to, and to pick something to really soothe yourself in whatever way you need to. Okay? So we'll put that aside for now, because I'd love to join together and just do a short visualization where we honor all of these parts of ourselves. So let's start by, again, bringing our attention back to our breath. Let's focus on breathing in appreciation. Bring in appreciation for each aspect of our being, each of these selves. So let's feel our physical body, get into it, maybe rub your hands together, grab your thighs, your arms, your physical self, imagine your organs, your brain. Just feel your physicality. And let's bring a couple of breaths of appreciation to our physical self. Excellent. Now let's visualize our emotional self. Those tears that we cry, the joy that we feel, the way emotions run through our body and we feel them in our stomach and our heart, our shoulders, what happiness feels like in our heart, what fear feels like. And let's just honor and bring appreciation to our emotional self to have the depth to feel all of these feelings. Excellent. Now let's imagine our mental self, those thoughts that float quickly sometimes, slowly other times, just like clouds in the sky, that we have the power to think new thoughts, to choose thoughts, to problem solve, to figure out, to create. Let's bring a couple of breaths of appreciation to our mental self. Excellent. And now our energetic, spiritual selves. Let's imagine this beautiful aura radiating off of us into the universe. That we have the power to raise our energetic vibration, to sense the energy of ourselves, the energy of divinity all around us in the forms of angels or saints or fairies or whatever resonates with you. The stars, the moon, the sun, nature, the ocean. And let's just breathe in the beauty of all of that divine energy that we are a part of. With great appreciation for it all. Excellent. Thank you for doing that with me. I see all of you and I appreciate all of you, all of yourselves. May you feel whole in this recognition and honoring of all parts of you. And for today, you know what was on my mind today is I've been hearing about kennels that have been emptied for the first time ever because so many people are adopting pets through this process. And then I see stories about wild animals, elephants and lions, really roaming their habitats more freely because they feel safe to do that with so much of a quieter environment. So to all of our animals, both that we bring into our homes, our pets, and those in the wild, I just want to acknowledge them and send them so much love and gratitude for bringing so much joy and beauty to our lives, especially when we need it the most. So let's acknowledge them. And to you, here is my great big energetic hug, sending you so much love and reminders to be so nurturing to your whole self and to all those around you. I will see you tomorrow.